Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Morning Fewell. It's 2023 here in January. We're kicking off a new year with a new set of posts here. And I don't know about you, but the best way for me to get started is with a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of caffeine. So I got Baby Yoda to help me get started here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, Happy New Year. So here's the topic that we want to cover, particularly in the climate that we're feeling right now in industry, in the workplace. And that is, what is the ROI of your transformation? We're feeling right now in January 2023 a bit of a downturn in the tech industry, a little bit of tightening the belt. We're getting news flashes of layoffs and all kinds of other very challenging stories coming in. And so if you're trying to drive some positive change in your organization, you might be hearing this more often. I'm hearing it too. And it goes something like this, where a senior leader is going to come to you and say, so Jesse, I appreciate your proposal for a digital transformation or a product transformation, agile transformation. It sounds like a good idea, but I just need to know, what is the return on investment that we would get from this? What is the economic value that we would get from this? And this may not be something that you've heard before, but right now I'm hearing it a lot more because of the current climate, and we need to be able to tell that story. We, as change champions, as champions of a better workplace that produces results and fulfillment and economic opportunity for all people as well as consumers. And so here's a couple of thoughts that might help you put together a bit of a narrative around that. Number one, first, choose the right outcomes. We've talked about this as being a driver for any kind of change that you're trying to drive in your workplace. People need to know why. Why are we doing this? Why can't we just keep doing things the way we've always been doing it? And so if you want to go somewhere, you need to know the destination. It might be faster time to market. It might be better quality. It might be stronger morale. But you got to know where you're going to go. So choose outcomes, but choose the right outcomes. You might want to go faster and you might want more morale, but the senior leaders that we're answering to and serving, and then the boards of the organizations, they might be facing a lot of customer pressure where quality becomes the number one driver. And so they're not going to be interested in hearing about you wanting to drive faster time to market or happier morale if the only thing that they're really caring about at the senior level is quality. So be sure that you're not letting your own bias corrupt the conversation, but instead get clear with the outcomes that the organization needs. So that's step one. Step two, once you know where you're going, what you're going for, measure it. The data gives you credibility around any conversation. So if we're talking about speed to market, you want to start using, or quality or morale, use some industry standard, research proven metrics. Customer satisfaction has a lot of industry research around Net Promoter Score as a key metric. And time to market has a lot of industry established research around lead time and cycle time. And then for quality, particularly in the technology industry, mean time between failure, mean time to recover. These are all industry standards, and they're relatively easy to get. You don't need a lot of fancy tools, and you don't need a lot of fancy timesheets. And no, don't mess with any of that. Just capture the simplest metrics you can that directly relate to the outcomes you're going, and avoid more esoteric things like a happiness metric or velocity or sprint cycles. That's not gonna resonate with the average person, the average leader. So pick the metrics that are simple to understand, because then once you do that, you can do the most important third step that almost everybody forgets: converting your numbers into dollars, converting your data into dollars. It's not enough to say that we've improved our speed to market by 45%. Okay, what does that mean? Well, one way to frame it might be we've doubled our speed as an organization. Ooh, that sounds cool, but what's the ROI of that? I'll tell you the ROI. What used to take us 12 months, now it takes us 6 months. That's 6 months of more revenue that we should be able to calculate. And then once we release, we start collecting more revenue. If it's an internal improvement, then we can say that's 6 months more of labor savings that we're going to capture. We forecasted this amount of labor savings, and we're taking a survey. We're collecting some anecdotal evidence as well as some survey evidence that says, yeah, you know what? This is the amount of labor savings we actually are getting from the investment that we made. So beware of just talking about improvements. Beware of only having metrics around improvements. Be convicted to convert all of that into a numerical narrative, a story, a financial story of economic benefit. And the good news is I've got a concrete example for you in the notes here on this post is a link to a report that was put out by Digital.ai and the Forrester Group. I don't get any commission from you clicking on this or downloading it. This is just what's out there in the industry. And it's a really good example of what it looks like when you put some heads together and you sit down and talk about what outcomes do we go for so that we can calculate the return on investment of your agile transformation. So that is the morning fuel I needed, which was a little bit of a boost to be able to tell a story that gives us credibility around the change that we want to have happen. So here we go. Let's close out with yeah, that's my return on investment. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.